Hey, what's up guys? I'm sure that you saw the end in the title, so listen up guys. I've gone through this and this is the first sequel of it, yes. The author said that he would make another, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna make another anytime soon because this was out from 2016. However, I want to know if you guys want me to continue this. It will take me a few days, but I'll get some new parts out for you guys because this ends on a high note. Yes, this is basically a first sequel, and I want to finish the second sequel myself. Yes, it will take me a couple of days, but I want to know what you guys think. So comment down below and let me know guys if I should continue this. I'm all happy to do it, so tell me guys in the comments. So yeah, as you can see, this is the first ending sequel of What If Naruto was banished and make Konoha regret it. So yeah, comment down below and tell me what you think guys, and also don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Immortal Half a Sasuke, and enjoy that guys. Over and making 3. So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. So, the last part that we left off, Temari and Naruto had missed spending time together, so they decide to make up for that by spending the entire time in bed. And it was beyond wonderful, as both of them were in blissful love. However, downstairs, as Navi was greeted by Gaara, Gaara had made it clear to her that he did not really care about the Konoha ninjas after what had happened to Naruto, especially with the whole politics things of him being banished. However, the problem now was, as Navi explained to him, that Naruto was not exactly banished from the village. They had laid down laws and stipulations, and now that Naruto has shown that he was able to handle himself for the past couple of years without releasing the Kyuubi, it now go to show them that he could handle the beast and the power that came with it. That was the problem now, so they can call Naruto back to the village as a shinobi of Konoha, and that would just cause more problem between them. While that was going on, Kurosaki was angry. Her mother had been one of the few that had fallen in the battle with Minato Namikaze, so to hear that her grandfather just stood there and did not do anything, well, it really angered her. However, the man had made sure her to know that he had not forgotten about the past. She started to get out of line as he slapped her, to make her focus and look at him. Of course he did not forget about the past, he remembered everything. The people that they lost, he remembered everything of course. However, this was a chance for them to change things. This was different. They were no longer stuck in the past, and the Namikaze was no longer of the hidden leaf. He was now of the sand. They could create a powerful ally between themselves, and they did not have to mend anything with the Leaf Village. So that is what you want to get her to know, as she come to understand. We then had a time skip. The party was going on, the last celebration for the shinobi's return back to their village, as Naruto was one of the hostess there. Kurosaki had been, well, basically following him around all day, as Naruto knew why she was doing so though. It seems her grandfather wanted her to make friends with him. Being the charming person that he is, Naruto was able to even dance when he danced and spoke to her, as she started to understand what her grandfather was talking about, as Naruto gave her one of his 3 prom kunai to show the trust that he had in her to make the right choice. There was no doubt that she was going to be the leader of her village soon enough, and he just wanted to mend the bridges. However, she started to feel something more than just friendship for him as she was dancing with him. We then skip towards Jiraiya, who was at the bar drinking himself silly. Jiraiya had really turned downhill since everything. Tsunade to this day do not know why he had sided against Naruto and banned him from the Toads. It made no sense. However, he was drunk. As she started to talk to him, figuring that this could be the moment for her to get out of him. As they talk, Jiraiya explained everything. As Sensei was rather disappointed in all of them, believing that he had failed as a Sensei. However, Naruto was something special. He was great. He was a prodigy. Despite most not noticing it, he picked up things so fast. He picked up the damn Rasengan in 3 weeks. And it took them, well, him months, and Minato 3 years to create it. Jiraiya was jealous. Yes, it seems like that is where things was going. Everything was going fine until he was able to bring back Sasuke. Jiraiya had failed to bring back Orochimaru, and then he let his jealousy take over, as he told Tsunade everything. However, someone was there to overhear everything. The both of them were shocked as they turned as Temari stood there. They were shocked beyond disbelief. As Jiraiya looked up towards her, asking her how much of that did she hear. Everything. So yeah guys, basically let's left off. You guys can switch across the place for yourself. So what do you say we jump into this final episode? Begin now guys. How much of that did you hear? Jiraiya asked with a wince, as he realized the extent of his actions for the night, as the alcohol was almost out of his system right now. Enough, said Temari, taking a firm stance, as she was rather calm. For someone who overheard something like that, I came to escort you back to the party, Lady Tsunade, she said. Listen, about what you just heard, said Jiraiya. However, she crossed her arms, as her eyes keenly focused on him. Jiraiya, Temari said, there was no honorifics. I honestly cannot care less about what you said right now. I don't even know what to think about you right now. So for now, let's just forget this ever happened and return to our life. As Jiraiya remained silent, letting her talk, Temari honestly could have cursed him to her heart's desire, and he would not retort, not even a word of it. But he knew that she would not go so low. She was above all this after all. She wasn't like him. She was a girl that held Naruto's heart in the palm of her hand after all. That will be for the better, I suppose, he said, as he stumbled. Before he paused, you're a great girl, Temari, he said. You got that sassy, coupled with that soft side cushion I once did. Take care of him for me, will you? Said Jiraiya. Temari was quiet for a moment, but she spoke up. I will always be there for him, but not for you. For myself, she said. Regardless, thank you, said Jiraiya. As the man was stumbling, he looked nothing like the man that he once was. He looked broken, battered, like he was just completely out of it. As she looked at him, as she called his name, Jiraiya, causing him to stop. She motioned for him to come closer, him and Tsunade as well. There is a tradition in the sand, she said quietly, honestly confused if she should be doing this with them or not. Elders are supposed to give their children with something, anything to impart goodness and blessing on the young ones, and keep away evil eyes from the shadow from their children. As she opened one of her palm and kept the other one on her stomach. I've got neither a mother or a father. Neither does Naruto. So it's only right that I get something for this young one to impart him with the elder blessing, Temari said in a whisper. What? Said Jiraiya. Child? What child? Where is he asked. However, Tsunade's eyes went wide. Temari, are you? Yes, I'm pregnant. Tsunade was shocked. How long, she asked. 1 week. Tsunade went forward to scan her stomach to do a diagnostic test on Temari, but Temari stepped back. Don't get me wrong, Lady Tsunade. Naruto may trust you, but you're still a medical ninja from an allied village. You get the gist, right? Said Temari. Tsunade smiled tightly, knowing full well what the girl meant. Being a medical ninja of her caliber, it wasn't out of Tsunade's skill range to perform an abortion with the slightest touch. Tsunade also saw the girl trying to keep her distance in the house without making Naruto realize it. She knew that Temari would not outright trust her because she was also from the Hidden Leaf. However, she hoped the girl would at least have a little faith in her. My gift, Temari asked. As Natty Hurley reached in her blouse and pulled out her wallet, as she emptied everything in Temari's palm. Thank you, said Temari, as she looked towards Jiraiya. Oh, of course, he said. The news had just sunk in. Naruto was going to be a father, and Temari was at least going to let him impart a blessing on the infant. As he started to reach over, before he reached towards a black thread around his neck, as he plucked the necklace off, brushing this crimson, ruby shape. This was cushionness, he said, tracing it like it was the most precious thing in the world. It's all I have for now, Temari, he said. Please, accept it. She graciously took it and clutched it to her chest with a warm smile. Thank you, she said, as Natty took the girl by the face, before she kissed her on the forehead. Life is a flame that is always burning itself out, but it catch fire once again every time a child is born. My grandmother used to preach me this when I was little. Maybe they will revigor a new flame for the child as well. It's truly a new era, Temari. As Jiraiya was on the verge of crying as he decided to leave, he didn't want to bawl his eyes out in front of these two ladies. Master Jiraiya, said Temari, I'll see you at the baby shower, right? The both of you, she said, looking towards Natty as well. Of course, said Natty, as Jiraiya was leaning against the door. The both of them heard the crying. Tears running down the man's face like a fountain, as he looked down in guilt and shame. However, he raised a hand. I wouldn't miss it for the world, he said, as he left. He was going back to Konoha, after all. Someone had to give the news to Minato and Kushin after all. Maybe, just maybe, he could redeem his fallen soul after all. If not, hell was what awaited him. Time skip. Love was supposed to be a nice, wonderful thing. However, at this moment, as two people were in bed, the woman was not having such a good time. Something that she's wanted for the longest time, no one yet. She never knew that it would feel so bad. Even when she told him to slow down, he did not listen. Even when she told him that he was hurting her, it fell on deaf ears. He just wanted what he wanted, and that was his pleasure, not hers. Once he was done, she curled up into a ball. This was none other than Sakura Haruno, as she confessed her love to him as they spent the night together. Her partner, Sasuke Uchiha. After he was done, he was there for about 5 minutes until he got up as he started to get dressed. Where are you going, Sasuke-kun? She asked. Sakura, it was a good session, but you know I have to go. We've been over this 1,000 times already. If anyone catches us together, it won't look good on me. I got a reputation to uphold. Oh, of course, she said. This was not the first time. And Sasuke didn't want anyone to find out that there was something going on between him and the girl. The girl that seemed to be broken nowadays. Maybe it was him constantly putting her down, and even openly trying to flirt with Temari as she was there, like she was nothing but a tool. And yet, she loved him and she didn't want to have him go away from her. She wanted him to be with her, but he didn't want anyone to find out. It was supposed to be a secret. Tomorrow, before leaving, try and steer Naruto away from you-know-who. Make up with him to keep up public appearance, and I swear, you would have proven your love and loyalty to me. Next time he goes off on his own, my mission would finally come to fruition. With that said, Sasuke left the naked Sakura as she cried. Little did neither of them know that there was an audience that was waiting for them. Sakura was so engrossed in her feelings that she didn't notice as someone was behind her. She turned only for a sword to hit her at the side of the head, knocking her out. Meanwhile, Gaara was at the party. It was uninterested so far. Apart from making small talks with most of the other fellow Kages, the night was rather so-so, as he had saw Naruto talking to Kurosaki. He wanted to ask him how did his talk proceed, when a man in a black cloak appeared in front of him. This man was the head of the Anvu. Lord Kazekage, the man said, bowing. Lord Naruto wished your presence in the back of the administration tower. As Gaara wondered what is that idiot up to this time, as he made his way, noticing two more envoys. I do not need so many escorts, he said. Lord Naruto insisted upon it. Lord Fifth, said the envoy. As they arrive, something was wrong, Gaara noticed. Where is Naruto? Is this some sort of joke? Not at all, the envoy leader said. We just want to have a private moment with you. As his partner took his mask off, Gaara's eyes narrowed as he was greeted with blue flesh instead of normal skin and shark-like teeth. The second person took his mask off as Gaara gazed into the eyes of Crimson, that accursed clan. But he knew who these members were. The Akatsuki, he said. Kissa made chuckle at that. Oh, you know us already. I must say I'm honored, he said. Lord Kazekage, Itachi said. We wish for you to come with us. Peacefully, he said. You have some nerve to order me around inside the desert, said Gaara, as he was as calm as a cucumber. The final one was still wearing his mask. Who are you? Identify yourself. Me? The man said as he reached his hand up to remove his mask. What he said shocked Gaara. I'm Uzumaki, he said. Uzumaki Nagato. Time skip. Temari extended her hand as she tried to reach the pack of tea off the top shelf as she got it. As she made her way, the scent of tea leaf was wafting through the air as she went towards some sugar, when suddenly two arms wrapped around her and gave her a soft kiss right at the ear. As she leaned back into the touch, someone's in a good mood today, he said to her, as that made her smile, as she started to sway in his arms, as Naruto matched her movement and started to sway from left to right as well. What's got you in such a good mood, Haim, said Naruto, as Temari turned in his arms. As Naruto glanced at her beautiful face, that is when he noticed something was on her neck, as he followed the black string going down to see a crimson beautiful spiral, like a jewel. That's one exquisite necklace, he said, as he let go and placed his hands on her waist. You've been busy, spending my well, hard-earned money, I see, he said with a chuckle. She simply wrapped her arms around his neck. You like, she asked. Yes, it's beautiful, he said looking at her. Idiot, she muttered, as she smacked his chest lightly. Are you free tonight? Her question caught him by surprise, as he thought about it for a second. I suppose. Do you have something in mind for tonight? I do, she said. What is it? Naruto asked. It's a surprise that will blow your socks off, mister, Temari said, grinning like a cat, as he playfully pinched her nose. Keeping surprise away from me, are you? He said, as she drew circles on his chest. It's important, she said, in a whisper, as Naruto noticed the look in her eyes. Hey, what's got you looking so worried? Tell me, he said. She shook her head. No. Tonight, she said, as he pulled her back towards him. Alright. Tonight, he said. Promise me that you'll be home tonight, Temari whispered. I won't miss it for the world, Naruto promised. There was a knock to the door that drew their attention, as Naruto frowned at the knock, ruined the moment. I'll go get it, he said, making his way towards the door. It was Kankuro. Morning, Kankuro said, as he was gestured inside. I'm here on official business. Can you get Temari for me? What's the official business? Said Naruto. As Kankuro sighed, your protectiveness of my sister is endearing and all, but I really need Temari on this one. Naruto had the decency to rub his hand behind the back of his head as he looked embarrassed. As Temari came, as she stood there. What's up? She said. There is this Kunoichi that has been apprehended on the grounds of suspicious behavior by the envoy, but she isn't willing to cooperate with anyone besides you. As Kankuro did not look towards Naruto, not even for a second, making sure not to meet his gaze, or he would see it in his eyes. Temari is eyebrown. That's odd, she said. Who is the Kunoichi? Naruto asked. Temari. Watch as Kankuro look away. I cannot answer. As Naruto narrowed his gaze at that. Which village is she from? I cannot answer. Temari's frown became a bit more pronounced as she watched back and front between them. Kankuro, she whispered. Something was wrong. Why can't you answer me, Kankuro? I cannot answer, said Kankuro. This is my last question. And you will answer me, said Naruto. Did Gaara sanction this arrest? Naruto asked firmly. Kankuro knew that he could not get away, as he heard the tone that Naruto used. No, he said, as Naruto stepped forward. Then, on whose authority was she mine? Kankuro said, cutting Naruto off. As Naruto towered over Kankuro's tall form, looking down towards him, you do realize this reckless arrest can turn into an international disaster, right? Kankuro nodded hesitantly, as Naruto looked at him. Before he sighed, fine. As he poked him on the chest, I'm giving you full authority, just this once. I won't ask you anything else, just do not make me clean up your mess afterwards. Understood? Kankuro nodded. Thank you, he said. As Naruto moved back towards Temari's side, I'll make sure that she's there within an hour. I prefer not to waste our tea, Naruto told him. Kankuro opened his mouth but seeing Naruto look, and the smile that Temari gave Naruto, he knew that he would not be winning this argument. Fine, just have her there on time, he said. As he made his way off, once he was gone, Temari asked, why didn't you ask him more forcefully? She knew that Naruto could get the answer if he had wanted. Don't you remember what he said? He said I can't answer to all my questions, and that in on itself, it's a dangerous thing to say. He knew I was questioning him as a superior, and even though it could become dangerous for him, he continued to say so. Whatever intel he has on whatever he's doing, he will only share it with you. And I trust my wife enough to make the right decision on whatever he's doing. As Temari closed the distance between them and kissed them. Before she pulled back, I love you, she said. I love you too, princess, said Naruto. Just remember to call me if things go south, okay? As she nodded her head. Time skip. The darkness in the room did nothing to alleviate the redness in Sakura's eyes. Her well-kept pink hair that she frequently flaunted was now all over the place. And the heat of the desert also made her skin quite clampy. Sakura was thankful for the silence in the cell, as she sat, her knees to her chest, tears in her eyes. The silence allowed her time to think, as she searched her soul. She had seen her love Sasuke cold and distant before, but last night his words and actions had even taken her by surprise. She had given him everything that she had to give. She did everything he asked, trying to be a loyal wife, but it was not enough. It was never enough. Sakura knew now, even through those countless nights of passion, its heart was never hers. She was just a pawn, and her time was coming to an end. As it was a bitter pill to swallow. The truth had been in front of her all this time, but she always turned a blind eye to it. Sasuke's ambitions were too large for her to live up to. His thirst for revenge was too much a quench by her love, and this time his ambitions were going to destroy a family. The iron gate creaked as the masked guard opened it up for her two visitors, as the guard switched on the light, and Sakura had to hide her face, as the place became so bright. Sakura? Temari said. As she got closer, careful, said Kankuro. As usual though, his sister paid no heed to his words, and knelt in front of the girl. Sakura brushed away some of the hair covering her eyes. Veins were prominent in the white of her eyes. The tear marks that were on her cheeks gave Temari enough reason to assume that the girl had been crying for some time now. You came to see me, Temari. I'm glad, Sakura whispered. Temari did not know what came over her as she cuffed Sakura's cheek. Maybe it was the loss, broken look in the girl's eyes. Or maybe it was the swollen cheeks. Maybe it was her newfound motherly instincts taking over, seeing the girl here. What happened to you, she said. As Sakura's eyes were on the verge of once again crying as she looked at Temari. As Sakura placed her arms around Temari's neck and pulled her down, as she started to sob. Temari hugged back the girl as she held on to her. Are you alright? Temari was able to make out that as Sakura spoke. She was speaking and crying at the same time. Me? Why are you asking me that? I should be the one asking you that, Temari said, as the girl was checking up on her. Why? When she was the one in this bad condition, looking broken. Temari turned, as Conqueror was giving her a look of disapproval, clearly not happy with the affection that his sister was showing. However, she turned away. Did Sasuke meet you? Sakura whispered, as Sakura clutched at her waist tighter, afraid that the girl would push her away without an answer. No, I haven't met Sasuke. Thank Kami, Sakura mumbled. Kankuro clenched his fist tightly. I knew it, he said. It eased his heart that his suspicions were not unfounded. He saw the glances that Sasuke kept on giving his sister, and it irked him in the wrong way. Neither were the looks leering or were they lustful. They were sharp, attentive, as if he was taking note of his sister's every move, watching her every step. The implication to what those looks could mean, in the grand scheme of all, made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. What happened to you, Sakura? As Temari looked over the girl, her eyes went lower and lower, as Sakura kimono did not hide her skin that much. As Temari noticed the scars on her thighs, as she reached out and touched the scars. However, Sakura slapped her hand away. As Temari realized something. Tell me, did Sasuke do this to you? She asked as calmly as possible. Sakura's lips parted to reply, but no words came from her mouth. She covered her mouth with her hand to try to stop the sobs, but she failed as she started to cry even more. The girl started to tremble like she would shatter into a million pieces. Temari, don't listen to her. The Anvus were watching them. This whore, she was enjoying it. Kankuro's head turned to the side as Temari slapped him, as he touched his cheek before looking toward his sister with wide, surprised eyes. Not another word, she said, as she sat back down to Sakura. Does it hurt when you sit? A little. Sakura nodded. Kankuro, get a female medic in here. Immediately. Temari said in a stern tone, as Kankuro clenched his fists until his knuckles turned white. He grit his teeth before turning to the guard outside. Get us a medic. Sir, she's a prisoner. You can't be serious. The utter humiliation that he was feeling from the slap and the whole thing going on right now made him bark. You heard what I said. Get us a female medic. Now! As the guard scurried off. Thank you, said Sakura. It's okay, said Temari. There are things I cannot forgive as a woman. As Sakura turned her gaze down. You're really kind and strong, Temari, she said. I can see it in the way everyone holds you in high regards. Why did you want to see me in person, Sakura? Sakura was silent. Before she spoke, as her gaze got determined, I have to tell you something. What is it? I really love Sasuke, Sakura said as she took a deep breath. I thought I could change him if I loved him with all my heart. But I failed, Temari. Sasuke is too far gone now. I cannot drive him off the path that he has chosen, but I cannot watch as he destroy a family. Temari narrowed her gaze. Whose family? Sakura did not say, but her silence was everything that Temari needed. Tell me everything, Sakura, she said. And there it is, guys. The final episode of this. As I've told you guys in the intro, tell me what you think down below if you want me to continue, because I have a pretty good idea for it, guys. So yeah, tell me down below and tell me what you think, guys. So yeah, without further ado, I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.